Okay, so welcome to our Kompose talk. I am Tomáš Král. I work for Red Hat. This is Tuna. I will let him say his full name.
Yeah, Nguyễn Anh too.
Okay.
It's very Vietnam.
So something about us to start. So as I said, I'm Tomáš Král. Currently, I work for Red Hat. In my previous job, I worked as system administrator for 5 years. I've been managing large distributed cluster, mainly for big data, like Hadoop, and also Mesos for container deployments. And right now, I work for Red Hat, for a team where our main responsibility is to create tools for developers to make it easier for them to deploy to Kubernetes and Openshift.
Yeah, I'm Nguyễn Anh too. I'm working for Skippbox, and previously I'm working on Apache Software Foundation, the project Apache Cloud Stack, and I'm former Google Summer of Code student. And also I'm contributing to Kubernetes in Cloud Stack provider. That's all.
Okay, so because we are going to talk today a lot about Docker Compose and Kubernetes, I would like to do like a very quick introduction to Docker Compose. What is it? So Docker Compose is a tool for defining and running multi-container applications. So it uses YAML. So you have one single file in YAML format. You can see example on the right side of the slide. It's a very simple example with 2 containers defined in Docker Compose. And then there is a Docker Compose utility. So you can run just Docker Compose app, and it will start basically the containers as they are defined in the YAML format on your local machine. But probably this is really great for developing, but probably sooner or later you will want to deploy your application in some bigger scale on some orchestration engine, and we are here, so we want to be Kubernetes, that engine. So this is where Compose is really handy, because Compose, spelled with K as Kubernetes Compose, and it's a command line utility that can convert Docker Compose files to Kubernetes. So it takes a Docker Compose file on input and converts it to Kubernetes resources like deployments, application controllers, and services. And then it can even deploy those services directly to Kubernetes cluster. So this is really great. So it allows developers who are already familiar with Docker Compose to deploy really quickly to Kubernetes. So why bother and why create a conversion tool like this? So Docker Compose has already quite big user base. A lot of developers who are working with containers, they are using Docker Compose, and they usually like it because it's very simple and easy to use. If you know Docker run command, you can really easily convert your Docker run command to Kubernetes Docker Compose file and start it. So plus there already is a lot of applications defined in Docker Compose file, in the Compose format. So we wanted to bring all those benefits and all those existing applications to Kubernetes. So with tool that can convert Docker Compose to Kubernetes, we can bring a lot of new users to whole Kubernetes ecosystem. Learning Kubernetes resources can be a little bit hard because they are much more powerful than Docker Compose files. But for someone who is just starting with Kubernetes, complexity of Kubernetes resources might be a little bit intimidating. So Compose can convert Docker Compose files to Kubernetes, and users can see how different definitions in Docker Compose file relate to Kubernetes and learn more about Kubernetes in that way. So not everything in Docker Compose can be mapped to Kubernetes. So we started using labels to annotate services to get a little bit more information for Kubernetes transformation. And we will show that a little bit more in our demo. So a little bit about Kompose History, how basically this project started. So project originally started in Skippbox, and it was a fork of libcompose. Libcompose is basically a Docker library for parsing and managing Docker Compose files. And we at Red Hat, we wanted to create a similar project, and we didn't really like that it was fork of Compose. So we started our own project. At that time, we called it Henge. And soon after we started this, we found out that Skippbox basically started this project. And this time, like, it was clear restart. It wasn't no longer a libcompose fork. And we saw opportunity there because there is really no point to have two projects that are trying to achieve same goal. So we have basically discussions with Skippbox and decided that we are going to join efforts and start working together on Compose. And at the time, also Janet from Google joined Compose project. So right now, Compose has 5 core maintainers from Skippbox, Red Hat, and Google. So about a month ago, Compose was accepted to Kubernetes Incubator. It was donated by Skippbox to CNCF Foundation. And so big thanks here to Sebastien from Skippbox for making all this happen. So project is now part of the SICAPS, and incubation process is championed by Eric Cheng from CoreOS and sponsored by Brian Grant from Google.
Okay. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the architectures. Like we already restructured the code base, and we have some contributor from Red Hat and Google. Then the code architecture is quite really clear. We define interface for input and the interface for output. With the loader interface, basically we define the load file function that you can implement with multiple input, like compose file or bundle file or more in future. And basically, the load file function is kind of read the input file and mapping it to the internal compose object that we define. And then the internal compose object will be mapped to the couple of output with like couple of provider like Kubernetes or Openshift. That's why we define the transformer interface with 3 functions. The transform is kind of mapping compose object to a Kubernetes object or Openshift object or more in future, and deploy and undeploy. It's made up and down. And currently, Compose support convert a file and deploy to a Kubernetes by default, and OpenShift. So it means that the architecture code is quite like clear and easy to like people can get in and implement more input format and output. Currently, we support Docker Compose version 1 and 2, and also the Docker bundle format, and 2 providers, 2 output in Kubernetes or OpenShift. We have a lot of issues, actually. There are some interesting issues we list out here. For example, we would like to support Notma as well. And we try to replace we try to adopt the Go client from Kubernetes, integrate with Minikube or Minishift. If there's some developer like to try Compose on their own local environment, or we think that we could kind of support the redeploy option, the Compose apply, because somehow people deploy the Compose file to Kubernetes, and then they would like to change something in the Compose file, and they have Compose apply to redeploy the application. Or we think that we could create the default route for services, like Kubernetes Ingress or OpenShift router. Also, now we don't support build strategies in Docker Compo, but yeah, why not? We should have it in the future. And also because the last one really interesting that in Docker Compo file we can define the service without figure out the port name, the port. But in Kubernetes there are already support headless services when no port are present. So at this moment the pull request already there, but it's quite get a little bit problem with the test, but it will getting much soon, very soon. Yeah, actually I don't know how to say this line. Like we follow the traditional versioning. It's kind of the latest release of Compo is the version 0.1.2. That is in a Kubernetes incubator project, a repository, and you can we're looking for contribution from other people, and you can seeking the website, and there are some interesting issues you might want to contribute. I will go directly to the demo. It's no, really. Okay, better. So I have the latest Compo version is 0.1.2. And basically, we support 3 main subcommands, convert, up and down. It's mapped to converse and deploy and undeploy interface. We support bundle format and Docker Compo file. By default, the provider like Kubernetes, you can switch to Openshift with the -- provider Openshift. I have some demo application here. First of all, would be the guestbook application. It's really simple Docker Compo file. I can just Docker Compo, figure out the file. And then we can convert it, for example, and we support different output here. You can convert to the JSON file by default, or you can figure out the YAML format, and also the I think I can show the have here. You can deploy by you can convert to the JSON or YAML, or interesting is the Helm chart. And with the demo, I will try to convert to chart. And then you can see that the file we generated, and it located at the Docker guestbook folder, and I can very easy install it with the Helm install, Docker guestbook. And then I have the application already running. I can check it with the application with 3 service here, front end, Redis master, and Redis left. I can use kube control proxy to access into the application. Front end. It should be local. I forget the URLs front end. And the namespace default. Okay, so we have the guestbook here. I will try to delete it. Okay. The second demo, I like to show you how to convert the bundle file and directly deploy into Kubernetes with Kompose. I have the Docker voting app, the sample voting app from Docker, in the bundle format. I can show you on the bundle file here. And I will use this file with the Kompose bundle. Is like you figure out the input format would be the bundle and Docker voting. And you can like simply use off. I will clean the screen. Okay. It's quite stupid at this state that we have to use this flag because by default we will detect the file if they declare the volume inside the Docker Kompose or bundle file that we will by default generating the PVC. But I will skip the PVC and use the mtdir option, and so I have to figure out the --empty volume. But we will change it. So you can check it with the kube control. So you can see the Docker voting app already up and running. I can try to use kube proxy to access into a voting website. Vote 80. Then I have the voting app here. My last demo, I'd like to show you a little bit more complicated application with the Docker GitLab. In the Kompose version 2, like we can read the Docker Kompose file in some complicated option like environment with the colon or environment with the equal separator or the port with the hotspot and container port or just only a single number like this. Even the environment without the value also okay. And the interesting here that we add the Kompose specific label. Like by default, when you use Kompose off, it will deploy to Kubernetes with the service side cluster IP, and then you have the Kompose specific label to figure out the service side node port or load balancer. So we use a node port here, and I just Kompose, figure out the file, GitLab, and that's off. Again, I have to. Like, I don't like this flag. It's annoying. I think I have to delete the bundle file, the bundle app first. Control bundle, Docker voting down. Yeah, it's really annoying. It's not good in the UX perspective. Okay, come on. I will copy this command. Okay, and then deploy it. So I have the GitLab off. I will check the GitLab service. Because I use the node port service type, so I have to take the TCP port here. And I have to get the node. Oh, I forgot it. YAML, yeah. Oh, sorry, graph. Unders. I would like to take the public IP of node and pick it randomly. And the TCP port here. Taking too much time for response. Refresh it because I have a really weak Kubernetes cluster. Hold on. Let's see the log file. Log. Yeah, I see it's already running. I try and reload it. Oh, come on. Okay, it got. Okay, so thank you. So probably you want to demo an Openshift.
Yeah, so I will also show some demos, but bear with us, we have to switch laptops.
Okay.
Oh, it's screwed.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Actually, he don't want to use Mac for the
Yeah. So, okay. So I have also prepared some simple application. I hope you can see it. Is it better? So this is Docker Compose files of this application. There are basically 3 containers, front-end, back-end, and MongoDB as database. I have like diagram. This is how these applications look like in diagram. So there's a front-end, that is Nginx communicating with back-end. The second container, it's just simple Go application with REST API. And it connects to the database, to MongoDB. That is the third container. And I have set this up with everything. There is like even a persistent volume as for persistent storage of the MongoDB. And I have created a Kubernetes cluster on GCE, on Google Cloud, in Google Cloud. So I can do just, first I will show you that this really works even with Docker Compose. So I can do Docker Compose up, and it will start whole application. I can do the localhost port 8080. And this is my simple guestbook application running on my laptop using just Docker daemon, nothing more. So I can stop it. And now I don't have to do any modification, anything. To Docker Compose file, I can do just compose up. And because I'm already connected to Kubernetes cluster, it will deploy all 3 containers to Kubernetes. You can check services. And you can see that front end here, there is external IP pending. And this is because this is service with load balancer type. Basically, because in my Docker Compose file, I have used the same label that Tuna showed you here. And I said that I want to front end to be to have load balancer service. So we should have soon a public IP for my front end where I can connect. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time.
You don't have to figure out the file because Compose will take the Docker Compose file YAML by default.
Yeah, okay. When it gets there, I will show you more. So other thing that I can do here, I can do provider, Openshift. I can deploy to Openshift. And I can, as I talked before, you can use it like basically to learn more about Kubernetes or Openshift. So we can do convert. I will do std out. And here I have like everything that Kubernetes defined, generated. So I have one service, there is a second service for my MongoDB, and another one, there is deployment config, that's OpenShift object. There are more, there are deployment config, another, there are image streams. Here was interesting. There is persistent volume claim. This is basically what was converted from volumes. I will go back here. Okay, that's not. So I will show you that you can deploy this to OpenShift really easily. We have OpenShift Online. This is currently in developer preview. Everyone can sign up for it. And so I will authenticate it to it. So we have here project, already created Kompose. Okay, let's refresh that. Okay. I will have to delete it because I've tried it before and I didn't delete it. Okay, that's not. Okay, online live demo. It cannot go without problems. I don't know what's happening. Okay, now it's deleted. I will create new. Okay. Because it takes some time to delete the project, so I don't have to wait. I created Kompose now, Kompose 1. OC project I will switch to Kompose 1. Because there are no pods. And I can do Kompose provider, OpenShift app. And yeah, I screw up again. Doesn't matter. So you can see that it's here deployed. And you can even see that if I go to storage, you can see that there is a persistent volume claim created, and currently it's waiting for persistent. This is persistent volume claim, and it's waiting for persistent volume to attach. So it's going to fail because there is some issue in OpenShift Online right now. But that's basically what I want to show you. Let me try something. So I switched back to my. I deleted it. Okay. Okay, that's probably all. It will be better. It's not working as it's supposed to. I'm sorry about it. So yeah, again, so to sum this up, basically Kompose, it allows you really easily to move from Docker Compose to Kubernetes, and it's like really great for bringing in new users to Kubernetes ecosystem, and especially for developers because they now then can really easily start testing their applications on Kubernetes, and they. So, control. No, you can go ahead. Okay, so we would like to we would like to really know your input on this. So as I said, it's repository is right now in Kubernetes incubator. It's GitHub/Kubernetes incubator/compose. We have channel on Kubernetes Slack, Compose. So drop by, tell us what we can do better, what we are doing wrong. Help us with that. And we have also a community meeting every Wednesday. We meet basically online and discuss things. So you are really welcome to join us and help us with that and tell us how we can help you with this. So now we are open to questions.
If anyone has questions, they can come up and use the mic so that we can sit onto the video.
You said you had to configure.
Cool.
Yeah, configure what cluster you're hitting with Compose. Could you just show us how you change which cluster you're hitting with your Compose when you do the Compose app?
Yeah, it basically reads default kubectl configuration. So it depends on the kubectl, how you set up. So it's usually in your home -cube /cube/config. It reads that. So if you want to switch clusters, you basically have to use kubectl to switch. So, more questions?
Can you try to show if you can convert from the bundle to a chart?
Yeah. Okay. Do you have?
I don't think we've ever tried that.
I don't have any bundles.
But you have the repository.
No. Oh, yep. Right.
Yeah, because we have the bundle format in example already in GitHub.
Yeah. I'll show it.
Yeah.
Better. I've never tried it.
You have Compo in? Basically, you can also take the bundle file. You can -dab or that bundle is okay. Docker Compo bundle and convert it, and you figure out that we want to convert to Helm chart. Then you can take the file and generate in the Docker Compo bundle folder, and you can take.
What's in template? Show what's in template.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to deploy now? I'm not sure if Thomas' laptop already installed Helm.
I don't have.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, but it can convert. It's basically every input format can be converted to every basically provider or output format. So, yeah, Helm, Openshift.
We define very clearly two interfaces with the input and output. So.
Yeah, and because it's very modular, basically we are open to any contributions for new formats for input. As we said, we are thinking about Helm, about Nomad.
Nomad, yeah.
So, and others. Yeah, question.
I have a question with you're talking about your roadmap integration with Minikube. Is it not working with Minikube, or is it something that you want to do differently? Or?
So question was that on our roadmap we have integration with Minikube, and how is it working? Or so right, what we are thinking about is to make it really easy for users that are starting. So what we are thinking about is to create basically that if you do Compose app and you don't have any configurations for kubectl or anything, that will automatically use Minikube to start cluster.
By default, basically Minikube is a context for kube control. So if you set Minikube as a context, it will just work.
Yep. But we are thinking also like doing Minikube start for you.
Okay.
So it will be basically a whole workflow will be.
You're a bit worried about that because
Yeah.
it looks like you're maybe doing too much.
Yeah. It's something to think about. Yeah.
It's kind of a surprise. Sometimes that it just starts by itself.
Yeah.
We're still
yeah, it's in
The
discussing.
second question I have is basically, that's really nice now if you're starting from the Docker world and you're going to Kubernetes. Now, I'm starting with Kubernetes, and we did at one point say, well, do we want to actually tie ourselves to a Docker compose file in order to do Kubernetes, whereas Kubernetes is actually the first class citizen for us, it's not the Docker file, and now do I have to go through this, and then if I want to change some stuff in my Kubernetes manifest files, now what happens to my Docker files? There's no path to go from Kubernetes to Docker and
Yeah.
see how do we work with that. And I'm not sure, I'm not convinced right now that I want to push my programmers to say, developers to say, well, use a Docker file because it's super cool, you can actually test your stuff, and then you can move to Kubernetes. But once you've done that, now do we have to do it every time? How do we maintain it? Do you have any plan or any discussion over that?
Yeah, not really, to be honest, because yeah, this is very useful in two cases. If you want to start moving, so basically you convert them and you forget your Docker compose files, and then like it get technically, yeah. About that, there is actually another project that we are thinking about at Red Hat and discussing with other people. It's called Open Compose. And we basically are thinking about creating another format that is very similar to Docker Compose, but it will be targeted to Kubernetes ecosystem. So this is where it will be really helpful for you, because it will be basically it will be created for Kubernetes and Openshift. It will be like almost first, hopefully in future, first class citizen for Openshift, for Kubernetes, and it will be really easy to write, like similarly easy as Docker Compose is. So this might be helpful in that case.
Can you do anything with like config maps and secrets?
Yeah, not currently not.
Currently not.
But yeah, it will be also nice. But there is like with all those like advanced Kubernetes stuff, there is also a problem how to map it to Docker Compose, because there are no such things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could do it via labels, something as we are doing with service types, but it will get a little bit complicated. So I don't know about it.
But Docker is going to introduce secrets. So I think as soon as they introduce secrets and it arrives in Compose, that will, we'll put it in this one.
So there are no more questions. I think okay. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you.